Hey everyone, Mike here today with some impressions here on Humankind. This is very much a civilization-like game. You know, it is a turn-based strategy or a 4X or whatever you want to call it. And this is intending to be a little bit different in that you're building up kind of a story and choosing the best of various cultures and stuff, and to kind of build your own civilization to a certain extent. That seems the sort of the premise of this game. Whether or not it achieves that is hard to say, because those 103 turns there are all that I've played. So that's why this is more of an impression. You know, I'm going to talk about what I've played so far, and that's about it. You know, this is the kind of game where you really have to spend a lot of time and probably do at least 3 playthroughs to be able to really get a good grasp and feel of it. Which I don't think that's going to happen. From what I've played so far, this seems competent and all, but again, if I wanted to play a Civilization-like game, I would probably play Civilization. But anyways, but yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff to do this turn. It just so happens I'm on a turn here where a bunch of things happened. To give you a bit of an idea, this is kind of my initial starting city, and then I established 4 more of them in quick succession. And now we're kind of at the point here where... wait. Okay, that's weird. There's like a camp here before I bailed out to do this video, to record this. That's interesting. I guess the camp is over there. All right. Anyways, yeah, I've been dealing with some of these enemy encampments, and so I'm kind of at the point where I'm gonna try and deal with one of them and see what we can do. So I'll have all of these guys come back, and do I have any more? Yeah, I don't have any more units available just yet. All right, good. So yeah, like I said, there's been a lot of stuff happening this turn, so we'll have to choose our next research, so we can look at the tech tree and see a bunch of stuff here, kind of get an idea of how things go. What's at the end game? I'm just fairly curious. Exosuits, fusion reactors, military lasers. So yeah, that's kind of one of the aspects of, at least for Civilization. Not sure about this one as much. There's generally a lot of different victory conditions that you can go into, which makes it pretty interesting. And so with like Civilization, for instance, if you go into a game fairly early on and you kind of decide you want to plan out early on what you want to do, and you kind of focus towards that goal. So for an example, if you want to go for a space race, well, yeah, there's a lot of early decisions you can do to kind of help you in the mid to late game. So that's always something that you'll want to keep in mind. So at least with this game here, it's tough to think about stuff like that long term because, well, I've not played the game enough, right? And so it's tough for me to make any of those decisions, at least early on. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff you can build. You can work some tiles by building, you know, various districts. And so if I want to increase the stability, I can go here and build this arc and add a bunch of stability. This being a food tile is not ideal. Whereas if I put one down here, these being kind of barren, not necessarily barren wastelands, but these are a bit less no resource bonuses on these yet. So that would add a lot of stability. Now, as far as the city's concerned, I don't think the stability here. Becoming agitated. Okay, so ideally I want to be over 90 if at all possible, and that would help for industry. But food, we're doing good. Yeah, you know what? It's a fairly cheap build. It's not the fastest. Actually, the pottery workshop would be better for influence, though. I have a lot of influence and I haven't been spending much. But again, there's things like this where it's like, all right, influence is a good idea. Probably. It's just in civilization, I'd have a bit of a better idea of where to use it. In this case, I've seen a couple places where I can use it, but it's really hard to tell. And so, yeah, it is what it is. Again, this is why it's more of an impression at this point than an in-depth look at what this game's all about. Yeah, let's do that. I'm still a tile away, so they can't engage. These guys, I'm not going to move them forward, so I'll leave them there. We'll see if I surround these guys, what I can do. It's not looking good, actually. Because they are on a camp, so probably wouldn't look good. What else? New Civic, alright. So what are we getting here, choice-wise? Wait, did I just discover... That's weird. So I looked at some of this stuff during my turn, and it seems like I could choose something else. I wonder if I found a bit of a flaw with the game, and I'm able to choose 2 civics back to back. Maybe. Anyways, civics here are pretty straightforward. There's some overall things that give you an idea of if you go one way or another. If you also mouse over, they also choose, or they also show you more information. And so if you want to go for liberty or authority, you know, it helps going one way or another. So plus 10 stability. Yeah, we'll go for liberty.
It does seem logical that people shouldn't have to do a job unless they want to.
Cool. So I got one idle army. Oh, okay. I got one of these guys that I just built. Okay, so you can go on the ocean immediately. Let's just send him off to explore. I don't know. I don't have any specific need yet, so just letting them explore is a good idea. And let's end our turn. So graphically, this game actually looks pretty decent. I do want to use RTX voice for recording, so I've brought the graphics down to kind of in the middle. Uh-oh. Oh great, I'm being ransacked by the other faction that's on here. So yeah, there's another faction on this island. Presumably this tells me there's other empires on an island somewhere. Right now the ocean seems small, but I don't know if that's just because I've not seen it yet. But anyways. Yeah, I don't have much in terms of military here, which is not great. So I am losing a city here, which is obviously not ideal. I don't know if this outpost has been completed yet. Wow, they have a lot. Yeah, because a lot of these outposts have not really done a whole lot yet. Let's... Oh! Yeah, it would help if I actually... I didn't evolve it to a city. So, knowing what's going on here, let's try and fast forward some of this military power. Can this... I don't think this unit can attack on land. A way for me to know what it can do. Huh. Boarding vessel. And I can't spend more than one turn in deep water. Okay, that's good to know. I was a little confused because earlier when I was looking at this, it gave me the impression that I could spend time in deep water. And then it pointed out, it was like, actually, no. Turns out that no. I can't do that. It's not made for that. But it was letting me move on that. So things like that, I'm kind of, unfamiliar with the differences between this and Civ. Okay, so looking at this, we probably want these warriors. I might be able to buy them next turn. We got 4 turns here, so it's not too bad. This unit should probably go there. You should go there next turn. And yeah, we'll evolve some more cities in a bit. But at least now I think we're in a decent spot. Right, this guy. That should come in too. Yeah, I don't know. Having played Civ casually for a while, looking at this game it's interesting. It's it's the kind of thing where I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, this so far seems very Civ-like in a lot of ways. But then looking at kind of the Steam side of things, between reviews and description, it's like they're trying to give you more of an idea that you're building up your own civilization rather than following some and that kind of stuff. And it seems somewhat competent, but then the Steam reviews seem to kind of point towards this game having, issues with some of the design choices and whatnot. So that's always a fun thing to read, I guess. And again, it's hard to judge a lot of these things just because I've not completed a playthrough, right? I don't know what to expect. Not really sure about much on this game, unfortunately. So yeah, it's a hard one to judge a lot, I suppose. Suppose we could put... We need stability more than anything else. What can we do? We can build influence, watchtower, build more units. And considering we've got guys ransacking my outposts, might not be a bad idea. So yeah, river crossing is always a bit of a penalty there. That's fine. Army, yeah, that army up there. Okay, we got a new civic to choose from. A city cap, yeah, that's already a more interesting option.
Most problems
We'll keep going on the left for that one.
To the onslaught of more brains.
I don't know. Humankind. Let's get into the battle, and I think we'll probably end it there. Ideally I don't want them to take over, and they probably will. So there's not a whole lot I can do, which is unfortunate. But, you know, it is what it is. I left that completely undefended. They came in with a decent composition. There's only 2 warriors and 1 set of archers, so, you know, I'm not at crazy disadvantage. And I still have 1 more turn, so I could stack up. I could stack up all my units before. Yeah, I could do that. And I'll just queue up these guys there. And then my ship's doing ship things. It'd be funny if I turned it into an actual city. But yeah, in this case, I wanted to try and get these horses. Lock them down, because horses can be handy. Because I don't have access to them. So maybe I do if the influence grows. I'd have to see. Oh wait, these guys have an extra turn. Interesting. So I think because it's an outpost, I guess they can do that without like declaring war or something. I don't know. Again, I'm thinking Civ here, how Civ handles this kind of stuff. Very different game. Yeah, you can compare them, I guess, but probably shouldn't because they're different games after all. Alright, so... Okay, we're not gonna win, and that's fine. Let them take it, and then I'll have at least 1 more stack on me for the next turn. Because I moved over, obviously, I'm not going to be able to do much on this turn. So got a bunch of options here. Trading on the water is not a terrible idea because I do have coastal cities everywhere. But also military is not a bad idea either. We've got getting bullied by this other civilization. Having a little bit of military might is not too bad of an idea. Can I? That's a pretty even score, interestingly. I need to declare war here? Oh. So it's only war if it's on their territory. That's an interesting twist. Okay, and then they backed away immediately, which is fine. And I'm curious if I just put my scouts back in.
Let's go.
I rebuilt this. I can reclaim it. I guess I never really lost it per se. Well, I guess I lost it, and I definitely had to reclaim it. So yeah, I don't know. Neat game, I guess. So we did that. Okay. Ransacked, of course. Got 1 idle army. Probably this guy. I'll put him there. I think what I'll do is make sure I now have people. So I'll let these guys keep auto-exploring. That guy can go there. And then maybe the scout can go here. At least to have someone sitting at the city and not just, you know, let them walk in and just take whatever they want. But yeah, I kind of get that mechanic now. I guess outposts are not considered cities and not considered my territory yet, and so they could just walk in and do that. I'm not declaring war attacking them either, which is an interesting mechanic, because it's not on my territory. You can see here, this outline is different than all the rest, right? And so I really do want to turn that into a city. I wonder if these I guess these outlines do predefine your regions, and maybe you don't grow regions. Again, hard to say. I've not played this nearly enough. And I don't think I intend to either. You know, I'm not saying this is inherently a bad game or anything. Seeing the Steam reviews being so mixed it's a little disappointing, I suppose. Seeing it, there is a lot of people potentially not super happy. So yeah, for that point alone, not great. Having said that, okay, yeah, I was just looking at what was going on. I thought I'd sent someone down there. I guess not. Anyways, yeah, having said that, it's on Game Pass. It's worth a try. It's like 62 Canadian. It's a bit of a slightly odd price. It is a $50 US game. So it is a bit cheaper. But also, yeah, I don't know. Having mixed reviews is never great. Also seeing people complain that, like, hey, they fixed issues, but then they fixed those issues in DLC is also kind of disappointing to read, because again, if people have problems with your game, you shouldn't be forcing them down the DLC path to fix issues and bugs and whatever, like or more design issues than anything. Well, this doesn't look. That doesn't look like a welcoming party. Let's regroup some of these guys. And in this particular case, we'll do a harbor. A particularly good spot for a harbor. Or I guess we'll put it over there. And we'll just station this guy here. Alright, let's do one more turn. Are they here to engage me? Or this is just a nice little scouting party wanting to come back and reclaim their territory. I can understand why, because I do have all of this nice high ground area, good for getting work done, or whatever the industry. Good for industry. More importantly, actually, I don't have the horses here, funny enough, even though they're right outside the territory. I have silver, though. That iron's probably good to have. I wish I could just grab this and can't quite do it. And I am outnumbering them finally. So yeah, I don't know. That's Humankind, Amplitude Studios. The name tells me something. And I'm gonna tab out. Music's gonna stop, but that's fine. Why do I recognize their name? Oh yeah, all the Endless games. Endless Space, Endless Legend, Legend of the Endless. Okay, that's why I recognize that name. Yeah, they made this. It seems competent. Steam reviews say potentially otherwise. It's kind of tough to say. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. We've been at it long enough, so hope you guys enjoyed this much longer than expected video, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week with some other content.